Hi, my name is Ashley Sartorelli, and I am a student at Webster Geneva campus. Welcome to our podcast series where we will be interviewing the program leaders and speakers of Creativity and Innovation Days 2024. Hello, today we are here with Dr. Eric Klick. Hello, Dr. Eric.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me on this podcast.
Would you mind introducing yourself to our listeners?
Yes, so just a little bit about me. I've had approximately 25 years of higher education experience, which is kind of hard to believe because like my grandfather used to say, it seems like it was just yesterday that I was starting off. But first generation education, so I really do appreciate education a little bit relative to the degrees I have, so you can have a little bit more of an understanding of how I would approach some of these topics today. But I have undergraduates in business administration and public management. I also have an MBA with an emphasis in public management. I have an MA in nonprofit administration, including a nonprofit certified leader through the Nonprofit Leadership Alliance at Kansas City, Missouri. In addition, I have a PhD in public affairs, which is more or less the application of how do you run the government and everything that goes around the government relative to the activities. So in essence, I'm very intersectoral, very interdisciplinary, and been with Webster now for approximately 5 years. I started off at our former campuses in Thailand. Then I was in Tashkent as the acting vice rector for academics and student affairs. I think, in Tashkent now we have approximately 4,500 students. Then I came here in January of last year. I'm also part of our global startup team, places like Help Startup, Webster University in Tbilisi, Georgia. In addition to that, I also oversee our academic operations in Europe. As you know, we have campuses in Vienna and Athens and also Leiden, in addition to celebrating our 45th anniversary here in Geneva since 1978 as a nonprofit private foundation. So again, very happy to be here today.
Thank you for that. Our first question today is, what does creativity and innovation mean to you?
Well, and some of this is why I spent a little bit of extra time on my background. It's, to me, very intersectorial, very interdisciplinary. And I think that's the thing that's very fantastic about it. So you could be talking about, obviously, the traditional research, which I know will be featured at Creativity Days, something along the lines of peer-reviewed journals or, of course, presentations. But, Dr. Francesco is a perfect example of, you could be talking about art. Last year was fantastic because also speaking of art, the art club did an art show. You could be talking about photography. You could be talking about poems. There's so many forms relative to creativity and innovation. And really throughout human history, what's really driven not only the social, but the economic forces within a country is all based on creativity. So of course you think of things more like technological advances, but all of this goes together. And if you really think about some of the great people throughout history, they really have been the inventors. So even if you're more about a Picasso, or you're more about, let's say an explorer like a Marco Polo, or you talk about more modern times like a Steve Jobs or a Bill Gates, those are all innovators, but they all create in very, very different ways. And everybody's process is very different. So that's the great thing about it. Is I also think that's very representational of Webster, because we are a global worldwide institution since 1915, and really bringing the best of not only Webster, but also outside of Webster, and then letting people kind of debate in an academic way relative to not only knowledge, but skills application. What are these terms in my field, in my discipline, my job? And that's very interesting because we can all learn from those debates.
Amazing. Thank you. You may have given us a hint, but may I ask what your contribution to this year's event is going to be?
Yes, for me, I'm going to be primarily more of a facilitator, make sure to introduce the speakers and really help make sure with Dr. Francesco that not only our students on campus, because we have a variety of stakeholders, but also our students from other Webster campuses, which are here from either visiting and or from also our study abroad. There are external students that are also part of Study Abroad or WINS partners. But in addition, we're going to have a number of faculty and staff visiting from other campus locations, plus inviting those from the community and the wider Webster community throughout the Webster Worldwide Network. So more or less, I'm going to facilitate, and really, to me, it really is about ultimately the students and those at the conference that have that experience. Really excited about some of the events too. I think that's one of the things that Webster does as good, if not better, than anyone. And so not only in the classroom, but outside the classroom. And as I think you know, all of our students are invited to participate. We're actually going to have our classes invited on that Thursday. Wednesday's the afternoon, and that allows students to participate, including everybody's favorite, which is the barbecue. In addition, on Friday, as we have no classes that day, that is really going to allow everyone to immerse themselves in those experiences. So I'm excited about not only the more academic parts of the conference, but more of what you would generally term the extracurriculars or co-curriculars, which really allows people to then formally, informally exchange ideas. And really that's the idea of knowledge transference, which is very, very important. And to take the knowledge that they learn at Webster during Creativity Days and continue that creativity wherever they go globally.
Amazing. Thank you. So one good reason to attend?
Well, I mean, I think there's so many good reasons to attend because I think there's a little bit for everybody. And this, to me, also represents the best at Webster, really is global citizenship, diversity, and inclusion. Taking the teaching and learning, the knowledge, and then the skills application, and really thinking about the experiential and transformative learning. So for some people, it's going to click more, not click like Eric click, but click more in the more formal setting, right? That's how people are. But I think a lot of it also is going to click when they're having, something as simple as a cheeseburger, or when they're hearing a band, or whatever the case may be, kind of more in those informal settings. And so that really does, again, represent the three core values of Webster: global citizenship, diversity, and inclusion.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you. Always happy to be part of the podcast.
We hope you enjoyed this interview and look forward to seeing you again next week. Please don't forget to check out our website called wcci.webster.ch and click under Events for more information.